The year was 2006. A teenage girl vanished without warning. One moment she was walking home in broad daylight, and the next, she was gone. No struggle, no witnesses, just an empty stretch of road and a family left waiting for answers that wouldn't come. Search teams moved quickly. Friends, neighbors, law enforcement, everyone joined in. Flyers went up on street corners. Volunteers combed through wooded areas. Every tip, every sighting, every possibility was chased down. But as the hours stretched into days, hope began to fade. Because cases like this don't usually end with good news. Somewhere miles away from where she disappeared, the girl was still alive, hidden beneath the ground. In a makeshift bunker, cramped, dark, and buried deep enough that no one passing by would ever know it was there. It had been prepared ahead of time, carefully concealed, designed to keep her out of sight and out of reach. Inside, there was barely enough room to move. The air was heavy. Time felt different there. Slower, heavier, uncertain. Her captor believed he had planned everything, and for days he had. No one could hear her, no one could see her, and no one knew where to look. Investigators were working with almost nothing, no clear direction, no solid leads, just questions that kept multiplying with each passing hour. But what he didn't plan for was a moment, a small one, the kind that doesn't seem important at the time. At some point during her captivity, he made a mistake, a simple lapse in control. He allowed her access to his phone so she could play games. Maybe he thought she wouldn't do anything else with it. Maybe he thought she wouldn't have the opportunity, or maybe he believed he was still completely in control of the situation. At one point, he fell asleep, and in that moment, she made a decision. Quietly, carefully, she picked up the phone and sent a message to her mother. It wasn't long, there was no time for that. And back then, in 2006, texting was still in a massive growth phase. But it was slow, manual. She had a numeric keypad. You had to press a number multiple times just to get a letter. But it was enough to tell her family that she was still alive, and that something was very wrong. That message was the first real break in the case. Investigators were able to use it to trace the phone's signal, narrowing their search to a specific area. What had once been a wide, uncertain search suddenly became focused and urgent. And for the first time since she disappeared, they knew where to look. Every second mattered now. Every decision carried weight. Law enforcement moved carefully, piecing together the clues, narrowing down the location, working towards something real for the first time since she disappeared. When they finally arrived, there was nothing obvious to see. Nothing that stood out. No open door, no visible sign that anything was off. Just a patch of ground. Quiet, ordinary, unremarkable even. But beneath it was everything. They uncovered the hidden bunker, pulled back the barrier, and inside, after days of fear and uncertainty, they found her, alive. That one message, sent in a moment most people would overlook, was the difference between being lost and being found. The difference between a search that ends in heartbreak and one that ends in rescue. And the girl at the center of it? That girl was 14-year-old Elizabeth Shoaf. Her captor got 421 years without parole and died in prison. And she got her life back. This has been Twist of Fate Radio. I'm Angela Clark. Until next time, remember, sometimes the smallest choices lead to the biggest consequences. Want to explore more stories like this? Visit twistoffateradio.com. There you can read more details about this story and others like it. Plus, you can submit your own Twist of Fate story to be considered for a future episode. You never know what twist of fate is coming next.